right. Hello and welcome to another Four Bros podcast episode. You got three bros today. You got myself, you
Mm,
got Brian, AJ's in the house as well. Fellas, how are we feeling today?
feeling good, feeling good.
Here.
Missing Matty J tonight, but we are here.
Yeah, we're here. We're ready to rock and roll. Got a lot of things to cover in this episode. I don't even remember what number episode this is. Could be four, could be five. Who knows? It's down at the title. But we got a lot of things to cover, a lot of things to talk about. First thing we want to get into is our last episode. We had quite the controversy there on the first Brian is Bothered segment. We had talked about what could be an ice shortage in our town, but we got an overwhelming response back, not just from people in our local town, people from towns over, people in other states were reaching out to us through text, through DMs on social media, through comments on YouTube, and all the places of just talking about that. This was something, Brian, that you struck a nerve amongst the masses, man. Um, and so we've heard, and yeah, the first Brian is Bothered segment, I would say, is a success to what you were
Yes,
talking about.
it's
It
definitely
definitely went
going
off.
well. It's like Brandon said, we've had several people reach out on social media, texting us, people that know us personally. But what I said in the podcast is holding true because you guys were kind of like we've never really experienced it, but you see that I in fact am not even close to alone on this issue. So
Oh,
um,
no.
it's been pretty comical. I do want to say this. Obviously, in this segment, like we are not going to or trying to bash any particular business. This truly is lighthearted. Um, we want to have a good time with this stuff, keep it positive, but it has been a silly couple of days about ice. I mean, I cannot go anywhere in public and without somebody bringing up the ice situation, and I think it's going to stick with me for a while. But it's been funny. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it's been good. And to, one of the things that Brian and I talked about earlier today on the phone as we were kind of gearing up and getting ready for this podcast was that was just the first Brian's Bothered. And like that struck so many nerves, and we can't wait to see what the next couple Brian's Bothered segments hold for us. But yeah, I mean, I was receiving text messages from people. Literally had a guy today, was like, "Man, I am so glad y'all brought that up. That is something that's needed to be said for a while." It was almost like Brian made this profound political statement, and it is just like it's just waves across the nation. And he's like, finally, someone stepped up and said something that everyone's been thinking about for so long, and it's finally been said.
I
So,
may end up on
it,
the
I'm
ballot in November. I'm not sure.
it's possibly. It's
it's like
highly possible.
if he's gonna fix the ice problem, he can have whatever position in government he wants.
Just hand it to him.
Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah,
it's been fun. It's been fun. We've had some cool interactions. Had a local business that we love. The owner there brought me out a 5 gallon bucket of crushed
yeah.
ice.
Yeah,
So
we could throw that picture up right here,
yeah,
and
well,
y'all can
yeah.
see that. It's yeah, that was that was wild. So
Hey,
she
you
wanted to
know
make
what
sure.
was you know what was probably one of the funniest things I saw as a response on social media. There's this guy that he's a little younger than me, but went to school a little bit after me. But anyway, he posted on there and he said basically like he didn't even know anything that was going on, but somebody at this particular restaurant, one of the people up front was like, when he ordered his drink, said, "Would you like a full cup of ice?" With it. And I don't know if he was joking around or not, but I thought that was pretty funny because he had no idea. And the lady
Yeah,
was like, "Would you like a full cup of ice with that?" So, hey,
yeah,
we're changing lives right
yeah.
here
Hey, who
locally.
never knew? We never knew so many, like just a few episodes in, the Four Bros would have such a
Big
influence
impact.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah, big impact. So,
yeah.
uh, but with this being said, want to shout out to all of you listeners and viewers at home. If you have something that bothers you and you need a platform to share what you're bothered by, let us know. You can stay anonymous if you want to. We'll
Yeah.
step in the fire for you. We'll get in the line and we'll shout it from the rooftops. If you have something that bothers you, we'll gladly air it out. And trust me, if you hang around with us long enough, Brian's got plenty more in the tank that he's willing to share. And I think a lot more beyond the ice situation. You guys are going to be like, wow, I agree with these guys. They got some things that they got to get off their chest. So,
Mhm.
but
It's been
anyway,
fun.
so shout
Been
out to
fun.
you. Yeah, shout out to you, Brian, for a good first segment of Brian's Bothered. And I know there are plenty more to come. And so, actually, not this episode, but the next episode of the podcast, he'll have another Brian is Bothered. So, stay tuned for that. So,
Yep.
that's just a quick recap on that. Another recap that we got to do is we had a pretty interesting week of golf. For those of you that know or don't know, we play golf once a week. I know we probably post pictures and TikToks and things like that, but I promise you we play once a week and no more than that. We wish we could, but
Yeah.
our schedules just don't allow it. So we played golf this week, kind of an interesting, different format. We had 7 golfers with us and had a little 3v3 scramble with a little alternate there in Andy's boy Jackson there hanging out with us, and so. We want to talk about that for a little bit in the little 3v3 scramble that we had there. Fellas, I thought it was good. So the teams that we had, so y'all can clarify this, it was myself, Brian, and Matty J versing Andy, our buddy Blake, and our buddy Adam. They were those 3, and then Jackson would alternate each hole. He would play on one team or the other. Came down to the last hole.
He may not be invited back.
Who? Jackson?
Yeah, he
No,
may
he
not
That
be able
boy
to
was
come
showing
back.
favoritism.
Boy was on fire,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, Jackson was a huge help for us, for our team. But I thought it went good. Just want to get y'all's take on it and see kind of what y'all thought about the round. That was probably the best way to play that when you have more than 4 people and you can get together and scramble. And it still took a long time, but
Yeah.
it was a good match. Came down the last hole. Myself, Brian, and Maddie were able to pull out the victory. And but we had some cool shots and cool moments throughout the day.
Yeah, AJ, you can probably speak more about y'all's team, but initially, I don't remember. I should have grabbed a scorecard so I could look at it. I know we ended up shooting a 66. They shot a 67, but the thing that stuck out to me, and again, we're playing 3v3, no mulligans, all the way to the
Mm-hmm.
hole, all that kind of stuff. ForeBros rules, we're whatever. Um, but we shot 66, 67. Only one, I'm pretty sure, AJ, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think y'all only had one bogey all day.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We didn't have any. So to have, 3-man scramble, no mulligans, um, and to only have one bogey all day was pretty strong. You guys had the only eagle of the day. What hole was that? 7?
That was hole 7.
That was
It
number
was the
7.
eagle.
And what y'all took? Whose drive was there to the left? Was it Adam?
Me and Adam both went left. He
Y'all were both
actually hit his a little farther than me, though, and we played his shot. And then I think he hit a 3-wood onto the green, and he was,
Mm-hmm.
what, 6,
Yeah.
7
Very
feet?
close. Yeah, very
It was
close.
close. Yeah.
Tapped
And
in
then
range for a
they
scramble.
made the eagle. That and what was crazy about that hole too is we were kind of back and forth right there in the beginning, and then we went up. We went up a shot on the par, maybe the hole before. We were up 1 going into hole 7, which is a par 5, and then they eagled. We ended up all 3 of us missed like a 4 or 5 foot birdie putt.
If that.
Just totally whiffed. And so it was a 2-shot swing, and they jumped right back out front. And of course, we're talking a little bit of trash and making light of it and all that kind of stuff. And boy, we got quiet. we got quiet for a minute.
Yeah, it was time for there. We're like, all right, we gotta buckle down a little bit because both Adam and Andy drove the ball real well all day. Blake was pretty pivotal, especially around the greens and stuff. So all three of them were working well in unison, and the three of us, me, Brian, and Matt, we were more so just sporadic. Like one would play a hole well, and the other two weren't, and then it was the other person would take it, and so. But for us to only be 2 shots behind, especially going into the turn, I was still like I was okay. Like, but 2 shots in a scramble, that's a lot. I mean, that's a lot to try to make up.
Hmm.
Well, then Brian and I would like to consider ourselves the back nine boys because we will
Yeah,
definitely
boy.
play a lot better
We just
on the
hang
back nine.
around. We just
Just
hanging
hanging
around.
around. Just don't count us out. But we were definitely quiet on the front. But that back nine started. We went birdie, birdie, birdie to start. Three
Yep.
birdies in a row, with the help of Jackson's putting.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Jackson.
shout out to Jackson. If we've always kind of joked around, if Jackson doesn't pursue a career in baseball, golf is definitely it should be option number two. And I would love to be the caddy for the man to watch him win, a green jacket or something. So the ForeBros, we're gonna ride the wave of an athlete somewhere. So, but putted well. We started, and it's so funny too because like you can feel momentum shift. Like when they made that eagle on 7, all of the wind that was in our sails gone. Like it was
Yep.
just we were defeated. And then Brian and I had a little powwow, and it was like, all right, let's regroup. Let's not freak out. Like we know the back nine's still upon us. Like we can still do well. And then we went birdie, 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 and then especially after that third birdie, and I think we had now taken the lead by 1 at that point.
Hmm.
Then it was like you felt the entire momentum shift, and they
Hmm.
got quiet, and we were like,
Hmm.
okay, now we're back, now we're doing something. And we just kind of, and I think at one point on the back nine you guys took the lead again close to the end
Blake
there.
on 15. So you remember on 15, um, we had, I think you and Matt both had good drives, but we
Hmm.
ended up with that shot that was above the hole a little bit to the left, and they were on the fringe with Andy's approach
Mhm.
shot, and Blake buries that putt off the green for
Oh,
birdie,
that's
and we ended
right.
up we
Yes.
ended up missing the putts and parring, so we lost a stroke there. Um,
Yeah. Yep. And that I don't think that tied it, or it brought it up at 1 at one point because I think we ended up tying it back up on 17.
yeah,
Um, we
they
we
went
tied it
up
back
on
up on 7.
15, 16 we were even, 17 we took the lead back, and then we had to birdie 18 to win it.
Yeah. Yeah, it came to all tied on 18. And I will say this, and I think I told Andy this too. I thought I ruined it for our team because we got up on the 16 tee box. I think at this point you guys were up by 1, and I went up to Brian. I said, "Well, the one thing that we got going for us is we're driving the ball well. I haven't missed a fairway yet." That was the dumbest thing that I could have said because what did
He
I
missed
do?
that one.
I
Missed that
missed
one.
16 fairway, I missed 17 fairway, and then I missed 18 fairway.
And
I
18
was
fairway.
no help to
Mm-mm.
our team off the tee on those last 3 holes, and that was 100% my fault. I had gotten to a place I was driving the ball so well. I come up to Brian, I'm like, dude, don't worry, we're fine. Because he said something, because at that point, Adam was driving the ball super well, and he was hitting it
Mhm.
far. And Brian was like, dude, if we're not careful, these last 3 holes, they could easily go birdie, birdie, birdie. And I was like, yeah. I said, but the good thing is we're driving the ball well too. I haven't missed a fairway. And he just kind of looked at me like, you moron. Why would you
Just
say that? And then
just
and
killed.
it just like clockwork, boom, 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 done.
Mm.
But like, so we had to hit the ball out of the trees on 16. Brian
Mhm.
hits a really good shot. I think we ended up scrambling for par.
Mhm.
And 17, I think, is the focal point of the whole story. That is where things change in a drastic way because we now had Jackson back on our team, and Jackson had been helping us tremendously the whole round, and
Mhm.
he hadn't been helping you guys as much. But we
Nah,
had said at
not
the
as much. My
we
own kid
no we
left me out to dry.
I know. And we'd said at the beginning of the round on par fives, he could tee off from the edge of the fairway. He's a little
Mhm.
bit younger, so we, help him out a little bit. On 17, though, in particular, at Entire Creek here in Cairo, the fairway is way in front of. It's a long par 5, dogleg right, and the fairway is way up there. And all three of us just happened to hit terrible drives. Me and Matt, I think,
Terrible.
topped it, or me and Brian topped it. Matt went right. We didn't have a
Mhm.
shot at all.
Let's
And
paint the picture. Jackson teed off in front of all three of our balls.
yeah, that's how bad our drives were. Yeah, Jackson got to tee off. Like, I was
I told
standing
him, I
where my
said, buddy,
ball.
as long as you don't hit it backwards, we're going to be in a better position.
Yeah, he was.
And
And then he
he gets
hits.
up there and cranks one.
Yeah, he
He hit that
smokes it.
joker to the moon.
Yeah, he smokes it. So now, laying one, hitting our second shot, we had 175 yards into a par 5. It was
Yeah, we
the
did.
most glorious thing. And we're like, well, let's keep the hot hand hot. We're like, all right, Jackson, get us one there. And I said, just get up on the green. He smokes a 3-wood.
He
He
did.
hits it to the fringe of the green. And we
Mm-hmm.
got an eagle opportunity. It was
Mm-hmm.
it was a glorious thing. So
I'll say this: we were over towards the cart path side on 17. We had to punch out of the trees, and I saw him line up I saw him pull that 3-wood out of his bag and line up, and I was like, oh no, because that's his number one go-to club right there. He doesn't miss very often with that thing, and then I was just standing there with my hand on my hip, and I seen it start sailing through the air, and I was like, he just put it on the green from like,
Yeah.
and
Two
he came
clutch
up literally
shots.
like it was about that far from being on.
it was
Yeah.
so close. Yeah. It was so close. And so
And we both
we were
lipped out eagle putts.
Yeah, we almost made the eagle putt. We tapped in birdie. They made par, so which
Mm.
brought the match to even. And then it came down to and I wanted to ask you about this, Andy. So when we got to 18, we're all tied up.
Mhm.
Clearly off the tee box, everybody was nervous because out of 6 people, 6 grown men, nobody hit the fairway. Not a
Nope.
soul hits the
Nobody.
fairway off 18. Like, you can't sit there and tell me that, oh, no one's being competitive, no one's taking it serious. When you go from 4 to 5 guys each hole hitting the fairway, then literally we all make a mention of, hey, it's all tied up, heading to the last hole. Whoever scores here wins. And 0 guys out of 6 hit the fairway. That's when you know the nerves are there. But Andy got really lucky. He smokes the 3-wood, actually hits it through all the trees. And you were basically sitting greenside. Like, you may have had a 30-yard chip shot
He was
over
hole
a
high.
bunker. Yeah, he was
It was
hole high.
basically hole high left side. There's a bunker in between us and the pin, and I mean, it must have just. I've been hitting a little pool draw all day long, and I tried to account for it off the tee box, and it just still went a little left, and it must have just went right on through there enough that it rolled on out there just right. So, I mean, it was luck is what that one was.
But you got that was like saying extremely lucky there, and
Mm-hmm.
we're sitting 90 yards away from the hole in the middle of the pine tree. And after we saw you like throw your hands up like you had found it, and we're like, oh, are you kidding me? Like, this is this how this is going to end? Like, they're green side because they got lucky on a drive. And then on 16, we were kind of in a similar position. We were in the woods, had to punch out.
Mm-hmm.
Brian had hit a good shot, and I hit a great shot ball strike wise. Like, I contacted it well on 16, but I just happened to hit a tree right in front of me. And so I knew that the shot was similar and ended up trying to recreate that same shot, and it worked out. And I don't know, stuck it to 7-8 feet from the hole. It was one of those things. It's like, I couldn't have done that from the middle of the fairway from 90 yards with just a no pressure shot. But you put me in the middle of the trees, and you take that Brian approach where trees aren't there, they don't exist, and
I
just
did hit a tree
just
on
go.
18.
Yes,
So
you
I hit the
did.
same shot that I hit on 16. I hit the tree.
Mhm.
It bounced back to me, one hopped. I grabbed it with my hand and put it in my pocket. No lie.
Yeah, that I wish we
It
would have had
happened.
that on video because it was pretty slick. It was definitely pretty slick. But
Mm.
you guys end up, Andy, you had a good flop shot there, and so basically it was just a putt off. And
Dude,
I think had they made,
Adam was about a foot
From
from
yeah,
being
really sticking it close. Yeah.
all over it. I'm talking
but
about tap in birdie.
he putted last. But you remember Brian or Andy, had they have maybe mowed it just or rolled it one more time, dude,
It was
that thing
right.
was half a ball rotation from falling in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to the point where he felt like he had to put shade over the ball to see if it would fall in. I mean, it was very close. But I
Yeah.
remember Brian looking at me and going, "Yep, Adam's fixing to bury this,"
Mm-hmm.
and he came up very, very close. Like he was just super, super short.
That ball
But
moved. It moved at the end on him. Like,
hmm
I mean, it was dead hard right until the end. You got that little pull towards the water on
yep,
18, and dude, the whole as soon as it come off his glove, I was like, that's in. But
that's
it
it.
wiggled right there at the end and gave us a chance to. Maddie gave a really good look. You gave another
hmm
good look. I honestly felt like as soon as Matt hit his putt, I had the line, and then you hit another good one right behind him that just reconfirmed it. So I just set it down. All I was thinking was, Brian, if you get the speed right, it's probably going to go. And
yeah,
it fell. So
yeah. So it was an intense match there at the end.
good
And
He's
match.
so
being humble, guys. As soon as he hit that thing, he walked it in. Come on.
he did, and
Just
Brian
Hey,
tell
did
him.
walk it
Just
in.
I
tell him.
told Brandon,
Just tell him.
I said,
I was I wasn't gonna
hey,
say it.
hey, listen, I may not be worth a nothing on the rest of the course. What you do not want BG on the 18th hole with a putt to win it. That's what you don't want.
I can
Kidding.
tell.
He
I can
gonna
tell
drain
you
it.
guys. He and I have been playing this game together for years, long before Brandon and Matt showed up. And there's been days where I've been beating him by 3 or 4, and it'll come somehow. This man shows back up on number 18, and it's like, all right, here we go, tied all again. It's gonna come down to that one putt, and I walked home with my head hanging down.
Andy, do you
I don't know.
remember that
I don't know.
run? Do you remember that run that I went on where it got to the point? It don't matter where the ball was on the 18th
The
green,
man
I
couldn't
would not
miss.
miss
He
it.
couldn't miss.
It was seriously like 4 or 5 rounds in a row. The
I watched this
silliest
dude just
putts.
walk up there. He wouldn't even look at the thing. He'd just tap it, just hit it, and
But
it just fall in the
I
hole. I
hate
was
that
like,
green.
what is
I,
this?
I can't read a putt on that green to say or I can't read I can't read a putt on that green to save my life.
well, it's
And
not like that all the time anymore. But there was a run there where I was like,
Yeah.
okay, something's off.
but
But
I can even speak to even when before we were filming, while we were filming, and even now, like when we would just play straight up the four of us, and I only notice it more when we're playing our home course here in Cairo. I don't really notice it as much at other places, but there has been numerous times where like I think at one point we were playing and we made the turn and I'm sitting on the 10th tee box and I want to one of these rounds last year I was like, man, I got a 6-shot lead on Brian. He's in second place. Like I just got to like play fine. Do we get to the 18th tee box after 9 holes? I'm like, are you? We're tied, and he
just
just like
hanging
you just look over
around.
at him, yeah, and he's just smirking like he knew this was gonna happen the whole time, and that's his game plan. He's like, I just got to be close enough on the front 9, and then just watch you crumble on the back 9, and I'll just be right there. And then all of a sudden, you have all this, pressure of I got to hit a good shot on 18, and you don't, and then he just casually just goes down there, hits a decent drive, throws it up on the green, and just
By that
puts it
time, I'm
right in.
hitting like 8 iron off the tee. You know,
Yeah.
I'm giving up
So
on
it's
everything
just
else
Whatever,
by the time I get there.
whatever it takes, whatever it takes,
yeah, it's
whatever you
just
got to do.
yeah, it's just crazy. So, but it was a really good match. I enjoyed that one. We definitely have
Fun day.
more than the four bros, and it's just it's more than four guys, man. We try to do any type of little scramble, whether it's 2v2v2, 3v3, whatever. We thought for sure that it was going to pick up the pace of play, but it did not for some reason. I
We
think
let a lot of people play through too. I mean,
Yeah.
we did,
we
but
yeah, probably
it
a
it, it just
4 hour, 4.5 hour round.
yeah, yeah. And just imagine if we were filming, it would be even longer. But so, but we'll see how it goes. We'll try to update you guys as much as we can as far as how our rounds go when we play. But that was our round this past just a few days ago, and so it was good. It was heated. So 66, 67, pretty good for a 3-man scramble with no mulligans there, and finishing all the way to the hole. No gimmies, nothing like that. So it was good. So we'll see. Hopefully, if we have more of a group again, and with Adam and Blake, we'll see how it goes. But right now, what we want to jump into next is a brand new segment. We have, we have Brian is bothered, but now we're going to walk into something brand new as well. This one called AJ's Heaters. AJ's Heaters. He's got some hot takes for all of us, something for us to either chat about and agree with, or probably heavily debate about. So these are all going to be different. And whenever we come to this segment, he's got some things that he wants to get off his chest, some hot takes that he wants to present to us. Now, let me preface by saying this. Neither myself nor Brian have heard these. So we're going to react to them just like you guys are going to react to them. And if you like punch your screen, or if I get up and walk off because I completely disagree with his hot take, that's what it is. So AJ's Heaters. AJ, the floor is yours. You got two tonight, right?
I got two. We'll do two.
Two.
Do two.
All right, let's hear the first one.
So as far as the ForeBros rules of golf, yeah, y'all know we don't play gimmies in any of our rounds. Now we did make an exception yesterday because there was 7 of us. With Jackson swinging back and forth, we did do with inside like a foot. We were just saying, okay, that's good. Yeah.
I think at one time I measured two putter the mallet
two putters,
like
putter head, yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, I can't tell you how many times we played in matches with each other, and they have been decided within that 1 to 5 foot range, and you can't just give anybody that anymore. You're not gonna get it with us, that's for sure.
No.
So I want to know. What I want to know is how far is your gimme range? Like, y'all give us a comment.
What is a gimme?
Give us what is your gimme? Is it
That's
inside your putter grip? Is it your putter? I mean, what's the number? Because you're not getting it with us.
Yeah. So you agree, Andy, that there should be no gimmies at all?
No gimmies at all.
No gimmies at all. Attaboy. I like that rule. I think
gotta finish the hole.
Professionals don't get gimmies unless you're in the Ryder Cup. But even then, I mean, they play the. I think traditionally in amateur golf, a gimme would be inside the putter grip, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not the entire putter, but in the putter grip. But what if you got someone who's like Bryson DeChambeau? He's got an arm lock putter, like Adam Scott, and you got the anchor putter with the two hands. How do you do that? I think you hear of two, and this. Oh God, I shouldn't have started saying this, but this is gonna maybe hit a nerve with some people. But I've seen way too many guys, and we've seen it as well, where they tell us like, oh, this is the score that I shot, and then we'll watch them, and they're picking up 10, 15 foot putts, and like, oh, that's good. And to me, like, and I know we're like a stickler on the rules and playing the right way, but and that's where I've enjoyed not having gimmies, because I can't tell you how many times in our matches where, I mean, I'm talking a foot to 2 foot putt has been missed, and it's been a deciding factor on something. So I'm all for the no gimmies.
That's my point.
Play it out.
Is my point.
Yeah,
play it all.
I agree with you, Andy.
Here's my take too. Like, so gimmies have no place. Gimmies have no place in your handicap. Okay,
that's true.
If you have a group and you want to go out and play, and y'all want to give each other whatever you want to give each other. Some people do it for speed up rules. Some people don't. And I realize this, and please understand this for anybody that's listening. Like, we view golf differently than some people do. Like, people have, like, our group is a little bit more competitive. We all come from sports backgrounds. We want to compete. We want that aspect of it. If you don't want that, I don't care. You can hit 4 balls in the fairway and give yourself whatever you want to get on the green, but don't go turn that in on your handicap. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and here's what gets me, and I've seen this, especially in tournament play, like at different clubs or whatever. What's the point? Like, you're hurting yourself.
Yeah.
Like, if you're out there giving yourself like, oh, I shanked one, I'm just going to throw down and hit another one and not count it. Like, when it comes tournament time, you got to play the shank.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
And the shank counts.
That's right.
So your handicap so you may be, and I'm just using it as an example. I mean, you may be a true 18 handicapper that's sitting there with a 14 or 15 handicap because of what you're giving yourself, and then you're turning it in.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I push myself personally. I made up my mind a couple of years ago that I wanted to establish a handicap, and I wanted it to be a legitimate handicap so that no matter where I go, I can look it up, plug it in, see what the course handicap is, and I can play competitively against whoever I'm playing against. So I agree, AJ. That's why I have just taken the stance of no gimmies, especially in stroke play. When you're playing match play or when you're playing scramble play, of course, we're not going to go up there and putt a 6-inch putt with three people. Like, we're not that strict, okay?
Yeah.
But, I agree. No gimmies in golf. What other sport do you get? What other, like, that doesn't even make sense when you look at other sports. Like, can you imagine a baseball player standing in the box and getting a pitch that they just don't like and turning to the umpire and be like, I don't like that one. Tell them to give me another one.
Yeah. Or it'd be
I mean,
like in bowling, like the first frame part of it, you bowl and you just leave the one pin, and then it's just someone comes up and goes, that's good. Get the spare.
just
Like, you're
push it
good.
down.
Like, no,
Yeah.
like you can't do that. But I will say too, before Andy gets to a second hot take, because we talk about our own golf games a lot, and we will and continue to for as long as this podcast is around. I don't want people to have this idea that when we step on a golf course that it is just death match, like we can't stand each other. We're so strict and competitive about the rules. We all have a good time. I think if at any point, like if any of us this year, because a lot of us are close to breaking 80, well, all of us would celebrate that one guy. Like, hey, attaboy, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But at the same time, too, as competitive as we all are, we're trying to better ourselves. Like, yes, we're out there having a good time playing golf with the boys, but then also too, we're all trying to, work on our own craft, work on our own game, and keep trying to get better. And we all know that we're not going to get better by, just pulling another ball out of our pocket or just saying, hey, pick that one up. That one's good, because we just know we'd only be cheating ourselves. And so, but I don't want people to think like, man, I can't play with these ForeBros guys. They are just ruthless. And that
No.
is not the case.
And
Like,
we are not telling anybody else how to play. I do
no,
not
no, no,
hold
no, no.
I do not hold the keys to the golf course. You can go out. You know what warms my heart is to drive. I live out here by the golf course in our hometown, and I love going by there and seeing that place busy and full of
Yeah.
folks playing the game of golf. You play whatever makes you happy. I'm just telling
Yeah.
you. Don't tell me you a scratch golfer when you really a 18 handicap. That's
That's
all I'm
right.
telling you.
That's it. That's it. That's all we're saying. All right. So you got us fired up, Andy. All right.
All
Let's hear
right,
the
number
second one.
two.
The next one might put you over the edge. I'm not real sure. I think I know
Oh Lord.
how one of you feels about this. Not real sure about the other one. And this one is probably a debate from since the invention of. So here we go.
All right.
Here.
Does the pineapple belong on the pizza? For me, it's
Well,
1,100% yes. And that is coming from a grown adult man who is probably the most pickiest eater out of all four of us. It goes on the pizza. Put the pineapple on the pizza. Gotta have it.
Andy, I thought we were friends, dude.
Bro,
Oh my gosh. Pineapple on
look,
pizza?
this is coming
Dude,
from the man who doesn't eat lettuce. I don't eat raw onions. I don't eat raw tomatoes. I will eat some broccoli. But, you know, I'm putting the pineapple on the pizza, man.
Pineapple?
Put
Why
it
don't you just eat
all
it
over the
cold?
top.
wait,
Why don't
I
you
eat it
just eat the
straight. Hey, ho,
eat it
hey,
cold.
this this just turned into a two-parter. I'll eat pizza straight out of the refrigerator, buddy, with the
Now, no,
pineapple
okay,
No,
on it.
that's fine. We got two
no,
different
that I
things there
agree with.
now. Cold,
Yeah, no,
cold
pizza,
pizza is good.
dude, pizza the next day out the
What
fridge,
with the pineapple?
dude.
No.
Stop it,
Yes, come
dude.
on, man.
I mean,
Stop it. Two
if
against
you
one.
eat,
Pizza,
let,
pineapple does not
You
can I
belong
guys
on
ask a
pizza.
question? Can I
you
ask a
gotta live a
question?
little. Yeah, man.
Right.
Pineapple. What else? What pineapple and what else is on this pizza?
Well, you got your traditional, pizza sauce. Then you got a little cheese, and you got some ham, and then the pineapple.
So you eating a ham sandwich?
It's no
You eating a
ham
flatbread ham sandwich? You eat a flatbread ham sandwich? That ain't pizza.
Dude,
It's
dude,
called
pineapple-
Hawaiian pizza. It's a
dude.
Hawaiian pizza.
We ain't
I
in-
know
we
you
ain't in
like
Hawaii.
pineapple, Brian. Come on, Brian. I know you like
I
pineapple.
love pineapple, but I eat it cold.
On the pizza.
No,
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 they're not going to bring you your pizza cold.
No,
dude.
but you put it on the pizza.
I
Hot
know
or
this
cold.
is gonna
You just eat it.
this is gonna divide.
I
want to
hear the world. I want to know.
Oh,
It's going to divide. Save people and
Oh.
lost people.
yeah. If you're for the Lord, you do not put pineapple on pizza.
You don't.
There, I said it. I said what I said, and I'm gonna stand by it.
Yeah.
Like you can't and I'll. Well, I probably shouldn't have said that. I think my wife likes pineapple on her pizza, so maybe I shouldn't have said that.
No.
But here's the deal, and I know that's it's gonna divide anyone that's listening, because I know there's a lot of people who love pineapple on pizza, and then there's a lot of people who are normal and not psychotic that won't put pineapple on pizza.
You probably put black olives on your pizza or something.
No,
That's disgusting.
No, I don't even do
No.
that. I don't even do
Okay.
that. I mean, if you go to we have some good pizza places here. Shout out First and Broad in Cairo, but that's a good pizza place.
Amen,
I mean,
amen.
they have some good Supreme pizzas and stuff. Now, if it's like peppers and onions that are like baked into the pizza and it has black olive, sure, I'll eat that, like a Supreme pizza or something like that, or meat lovers with things on it, but not a fruit, not pineapple.
Why are you putting peppers on a pizza?
Veggies.
No.
Well, to me, that's a significant difference in a pineapple.
That's disgusting. Peppers are they're meant to be, no.
I honestly,
peppers. No.
I'm trying to think if I have ever had a
Have you ever tried it?
I know I've been around some parties of obviously lost people that had this pizza available, but I do not remember trying it. Like, that's how much it bothers me. Maybe I can't turn this into a Brian is bothered, but
coming to you live from First and Broad, coming soon. Brian tries pineapple pizza. Hawaii pizza.
Isn't there too many other good pizzas though?
Yeah, how about just a normal cheese pizza?
Eat pizza.
Fine too.
Without pineapple. I
don't like complicated pizza. I'm not a complicated pizza guy.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple. If
ham and pineapple is very simple. It's 2 ingredients.
That's a sandwich.
Simple.
That's a sandwich.
Not a sandwich. How is that even a sandwich?
That's a sandwich. That's something I would put on light bread.
That's a
pineapple
ham,
and ham.
Sandwich. No, pineapple again. God, that got me fired up. Pineapple does not belong on pizza. If First and Broad said, "Hey, we're gonna make a ForeBros pizza. You guys design it." Guess the first thing that is not going on it?
Pineapple.
Pineapple is
that's
not
fine. It don't gotta
going
have
on that pizza.
Peppers is a preference, but pineapple is not even on the list of ingredients. Shouldn't be.
Until you go and try it. Don't even talk to me about it anymore until you try it. I want to see.
That's what we should do. That's what we should do. We should get a pineapple. We should get a ham and pineapple pizza. Next podcast, we should eat it cold.
Eat it cold. I do think pizza cold is sometimes better than fresh out the oven. So
I'll say this: I'm willing to try it. I'm willing to try it, but I'm telling you,
I'm just not a big
telling you
pineapple
what's
guy.
gonna happen.
Period.
Oh, I love pineapple now. I cut up pineapples. I am a machine cutting up pineapples. Gallon bags of pineapples.
37 pineapple pizzas, Hawaiian pizzas a year. That's what's about to happen to Brian. Once he tries this thing, it's over.
But
it's game
my
over.
question is even so, I'll even take it a step further with the pineapple thing. Even on Thanksgiving, because you talked about the pizza, you said pineapple and ham, and then Thanksgiving, there's the pineapple on the ham as well. Why is what's up with that duo? To me, even those two things, even at Thanksgiving, if I just see a regular normal ham at Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner, I'll eat it. The moment I see pineapples laid across it, forget it. I'm going for the turkey. I'm not even touching the pineapple now. You have contaminated that ham with the pineapple. Not
You're
touching.
just
Did
not a,
you
you're
did
not a
you say you
pineapple guy,
don't like
apparently.
pineapple though? You just don't. You don't
Right.
Yeah, I
like
don't.
pineapple at all.
That's
I
what he
don't.
said.
See,
I mean,
I
I would eat pineapple. I guess if that was the only fruit available in my house to eat, I would probably eat a piece or two. And my girls eat pineapple at the house, but I'm not putting it on other foods to eat it. I'm not
let me
baking
ask you
it
this
into a
though:
pizza.
the pineapple. Are you buying the what kind of pineapple? Are you talking about canned pineapple, or are we talking about the
No,
cut
I'm
up
talking
already in
about
the plastic container, or are you talking about you buy a pineapple and y'all bring it home and
we'll
cut
do
it up?
both. Sometimes we'll buy the pre-cut pineapple, or my wife will buy just the actual pineapple itself, and she'll cut it up.
That's the only way to
Which
do it.
those are sweet. I like
Hmm.
those. I like those. But as soon as you put it on a ham or a pizza, forget about it. You've contaminated that food object. I ain't touching that
You
because
had never tried
pineapple ain't
one
supposed to be
baked on.
hot. It ain't supposed to be baked into anything. But
You
you
need to bake
crazy
one on top of a piece of chicken, man, and just.
doing that
Mm.
either. I'm not doing that. Anybody
I
that eats canned pineapple,
How are you from Florida? How are you from Florida and don't eat? Oh wait,
oranges, bro,
oranges, right? Yeah,
oranges.
okay. So you
Yeah,
eat
oranges.
oranges on your pizza?
this boy eating
No, I
citrus
don't. I
pizza.
don't even. Yeah,
Citrus pizza.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
Give me
man,
all the oranges.
Man,
Okay.
whatever.
I think we
Well,
Just go
should.
back
those
to
were some.
Just go back.
I think we
Those were
should
two good ones.
try a ham and pineapple pizza. I'm willing to try it. I may throw up, but whatever.
It's the best thing.
First and broad, if you're listening, if you can get us a good pineapple pizza,
It's no
we'll
Woof.
going.
be there to
No
eat
going
it.
back for you, Brian. It's no going back for you. I'm telling you.
Uh, I
That
have a
good.
high. I don't know. I
Uh,
just highly doubt that I'm going to take one bite of a pineapple and ham. I can't even say it. Pineapple and ham pizza and go. You know what? That's a game changer for me. Like
I guarantee
it
you,
ain't gonna.
you'll rate that thing a 8.79-4237 semicolon 12.
pretty high.
No,
It's way up there.
8 points. Yeah, yeah. Well, Andy, those were two good heaters, man. That got me fired up. Pineapple on
Yeah.
pizza,
I enjoyed
please. I
that.
can't. Yeah, that was good. So
Hmm.
stick around because if that got you as fired up as it got me fired up, if you hate pineapple on pizza, good for you. You're a good person. If you like it on your pizza, I know some good counselors. So with that being said, we're going to move to the next thing to talk about. AJ, thank you for your heaters, and we look forward to hearing more in episodes to come. Now let's talk about something that we do all like and we do all agree on, and that's back to some golf. U.S. Open. First round is completed as at the time of this recording and finished off here. Tough day on the course for the fellas. Not a lot of super low scores. Conditions of Pinehurst number 2 is playing pretty difficult. But as we sit right now at the time of this recording, again, just the first round has been finished. You have Patrick Cantlay sitting at the top of the leaderboard, tied with Rory McIlroy. So you got two guys tied for the lead at 5 under par. Now, that normally sounds like a lot, 5 under, but it's really, I guess for these conditions of this course,
It's pretty
maybe it
low.
is. It's pretty low.
They played
But we
well to get
noticed
that score.
yeah, they played really well. And what funny before right before we started recording, one of the things we talked about, if you go back to our last episode, we made some predictions about our favorites, who we want to win and who we think will win. And literally almost every single person we said is looming within the top 15,
Yes,
which
they are.
is pretty good. So, Ludwig Oberg is sitting in solo third at 4 under.
Maddie
DeChambeau,
picked
who I
him.
said is, yeah, Matt picked him. I picked
I picked
DeChambeau. He's at
McElroy.
3 under. You picked McElroy. He's tied for the lead. And then we had you got Brooks Koepka. He was solo leader at one point, and I think he fell off there towards the back there. But he's sitting at even par. So, but again, that that could quickly change. So you still have Friday's round coming up, and then moving day on Saturday. What's your guys' predictions as far as what you think the cut will be?
Who? The cut line?
Yeah, what do you think? Yeah,
Mm,
what do you have to shoot to make the cut after 2 days?
Is it top 50
mm,
plus ties?
I think it's either top 50 or top 65 in ties or something like that.
I,
Could be top 50
I,
in ties. Depends on the player field.
I'd probably feel good at around 2 over, maybe 3. I think
Okay.
that's a good number.
See, if you look at today, if you expect traditionally the U.S. Open gets harder as the weekend goes on. So,
Hmm.
Hmm.
and I'm not quite sure on the weather today versus weather tomorrow, but I would say if it's that 60 plus ties or somewhere right around there, I think you're looking at a +5 cut at least, maybe even.
Could very well be.
I think the last time it was there, it was +5 because I saw, I think it was Grant Horvat and the Bryan Bros. They played up
Hmm.
there and they were trying to make the cut, but their number was +5 because that was from the last time that it was at Pinehurst number 2. So, and I think they were expecting it to be a little tougher this time. So I think 5 or 6 is the number.
So check this
Maybe.
out. I just looked at the weather for Pinehurst, North Carolina, where the US Open's being played. Now, mind you, let me preface by saying this. They started with tournament conditions, like, as far as mowing and rolling the greens. Like, I've seen some of the videos of them throwing a ball on the green and it rolls all the way back down the fairway. Check out this weather that's coming up. There's like no chance of rain for Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. The low is in the high 60s, but the low's in the high 60s, but the high is in the 90s. So you're talking after as you would have to imagine those greens are rolling well within the mid-teens probably in those conditions. And so now they're not gonna they may water them early in the mornings for things, but and then mow, but again, it's just tournament conditions. That sun's baking on that course. So I would imagine those greens are going to pick up more speed as the weekend goes on and you get into the weekend. I would think to say even that Sunday's round, that final round is going to play drastically different than today's round on Thursday.
Hmm.
And you'll see. So I wouldn't even argue that 5 over would be the cut.
It's
Let
going to
me
be
ask you
up there.
this. Well, let me ask you this too. So right now, Tiger Woods, the goat of golf, if 5 over is the cut, he sits one shot inside of that at 4 over. So the next question is, do we think Tiger Woods makes the cut for the U.S. Open?
Brian and I had a good. We talked about this a little earlier, and his point of view on that, which I'm not trying to speak for him, but he just doesn't play enough golf anymore. Like
Mm-mm.
I just don't think. I personally don't. You can watch the man; he just looks in like he's in agony all the time. Like
Yeah.
I just don't think he's got it in him anymore
It's a
to,
struggle
to
for him,
last.
man. I mean, it's one thing to go out and to win a professional golf tournament with everything he's been through. It's
Hmm.
an entirely different thing to go out and win a major. And especially man, I know the Masters gets a lot of the attention, but this one's probably the hardest. Like as
Yeah.
far as conditions and perfection that it takes to win, it's this one. And
Yeah.
we've seen it kind of in his comeback. He has not done great in this one. I mean, it's Tiger. Can he go
Yeah.
out tomorrow and shoot even and make the cut? Sure. I
I,
don't think he's going to go out and shoot 4 or 5 under and get back in the mix. I think, but more likely he's probably going to not make the cut.
Yes, it's kind of it's kind of hard. I mean, he started off great, first hole birdie, and then a lot of pars there in a row, 5 pars in a row, and then went bogey bogey. Bogey bogey par to finish, and then he bogeyed, what was this, 4 out of 5 holes there in a row, and then went par bogey birdie par bogey par. So he just kind of wasn't real consistent. I saw in an interview where he was saying that all week in the practice rounds he'd hit nothing but draws, and then he got on the first tee today and hit nothing but cuts all day today. So that probably has something to do with it, but you know these guys, like you said, like the Patrick Cantlays, the Rory McIlroys, those that are playing every weekend or right there at it. These guys are going to be dialed in, and I think Rory's, he could definitely go on a tear. So, with kind of where the scores are at right now, between the three of us, is there anybody that wants to change their prediction? Brian, you're sitting pretty good with Rory being in first.
Yeah.
Is
can he hold on?
Andy?
Can
Is
he
there
hold on?
anybody with Kepka? Can he hold on, or is there anybody else that you're kind of looking at, eyeing, or?
No, I'm gonna stick with my picks. I mean, sorry, Brian. Go ahead.
No, you good.
I'm gonna stick. gonna stick solid with my picks. I mean, he struggled a little bit today, but I was watching him a little bit when he started to fall, and you could just tell he was kind of just moseying on through it, but then he kind of locked in and kept it together for the rest of the round. So
Yeah.
I think he'll come back tomorrow and he'll be locked in, ready to go.
Don't laugh at this. Don't laugh at this. But look for Sunday in that top 5, one of them final groups. You're gonna see my boy Jordan Spieth right there. I'm just saying, just watch out. Okay, just watch
What's
out.
he gonna do? Be standing? Who's he following that he's gonna be in the picture on Sunday? He gonna be following one of the main groups,
Hey,
drinking some
don't hate
sweet
him.
tea with ice.
don't hate on my guy Jay Spieth, man. He's
I love Jordan, dude. Man,
well, we're
I
sitting at
can't.
2 over. I'm team Jordan till the day I die, man. He,
Maybe he'll make the cut.
dude, he only had 3 bogeys, man. He went and had 1 birdie. So I mean, he's dialed. He's right there. He just needs to shoot let me get a 4 under round out of him tomorrow. Get well within the cut, and then just light it up on moving day on Saturday, and then boom, before you know it, we right in the mix of this thing. So then I can laugh at y'all and say I told you so.
Yeah,
But
I'm gonna stick with Rory. He had a good day. Not changing there. And then Maddie had old Ludwig Oberg, which
Ludwig Oberg.
won't
Oh,
speak for
Bird.
him, but I'm sure he's happy about the result there. So he's hanging around.
Just hanging around. Quick question. We talked about this off camera, then we'll get to our last topic of the night. Do you think in these tournament conditions at Pinehurst number 2, last
No,
place,
no,
Nope.
I didn't even get the question
Nope.
out. They haven't heard it.
No.
Last place shot 14 over. 14 over. So that what would that be? An 80, 86? Yeah, 86 if it's a par
no. It's a
72.
par 70.
Oh, so 84. So they shot an 84. So do you think that could you match on one round? Could you shoot 14 over and match last place of the U.S. Open?
No.
The reason they're
No.
responding that way because I
Not a
said off
chance.
camera, I said I could. I definitely could.
He
14
can't.
over.
He can't.
You not only would you not and I'm not being silly. You would not be 14 over on the front. You
I
wouldn't.
mean, there's probably some truth to that, but
You wouldn't.
I mean,
Seriously. I believe if you went and played that course in these conditions, and you're playing better than any of us right now, I honestly think you would bust 100 wide open. Wide open.
they
That's
they
30,
asked
30 plus.
they asked they asked some amateurs that were there. The amateurs asked the professionals, what would a mid handicapper shoot in these conditions, and they said, 95 to 105. So
And they were
I don't know
probably
where
talking about some like pretty good, like good amateurs.
good amateurs. Yeah, I don't know what would be the biggest issue. Would it be getting off the tee? Would it be because I feel like if you found yourself in any of that sand and
Well, yeah,
whatever you call that stuff outside of the fairway, you might be in a bad spot. Like that might be something you can't really get out of.
that's trouble. But more than that, you're probably three putting every hole.
If they're rolling as good as they are, yeah.
At the very least, you're probably 4 and 5 putting some, depending on. See, because that's the thing. Like you wouldn't, you could hit a good drive, and you could be out there staring at a, I don't know, 150, 160, whatever into the green. But do you know what 6 foot by 6 foot spot you have to hit it to on that green so that it doesn't roll back halfway to you? Like it would be an absolute circus. Maybe one day this podcast will take us places to where we can play tournament conditions on those courses, and you can see for yourself. But I'm telling you, buddy, it would not be pretty.
Did he
I would at
forget
least go ahead.
what it was like to play at Becklemore with as fast as those greens were rolling? You think you could get
Well,
a ball to stick? Come on, dude. No.
that's what I was going to say. That's what I was gonna say. Is like it reminds me of trying to putt on Macklemore, and I did have a lot of 3 putts at Macklemore, and that was rolling on what, a 12 or a 13. So and that
Mm-hmm.
was to us that was like lightning fast. That was like glass. Like I remember the very first hole we putted on. We're like, oh, this is different. But I would like to try it. We'll see. I don't know. Y'all share the podcast enough, and maybe it'll take us to Pinehurst #2. We could play
Yeah.
tournament conditions. All right, to
Maybe
wrap
we'll
up
be
this episode.
playing from the senior tees by then.
Yeah, absolutely. To wrap up this episode, one thing that we want to touch on, we didn't get to touch on it much the last episode we had, but Omaha is starting the college baseball World Series is taking place as always in Omaha, Nebraska. First games to start Friday, June the 14th. So if you're listening to this on Friday, they start today. 1:00 is the first game, North Carolina versus Virginia. And this is kind of some of the starting matchups. Then you have Tennessee taking on Florida State. Ooh, that's gonna be a good one. And then you have Kentucky and NC State, and then Texas A&M and the Florida Gators. So a lot of good games there to start. It's a SEC versus ACC showdown. So we'll see who's got the better conference as far as baseball goes. But fellas, do you have any thoughts, discussion, or maybe even some crazy picks to start this College World Series that takes place Friday? June 14th.
I honestly just want to see an FSU Florida natty.
Oh, Andy, if that happens, we're taking a road trip to Omaha. We got to.
Driving, baby. We
We
gone.
got to. 17 and a half hour drive.
We'll make it.
Brian, we might need you to come with us just to help break up the drive.
We'll buy you
They're,
tickets,
they're on
buddy. You just
opposite
get in the
sides of the
car.
bracket. It could happen. They're on opposite
Just
sides
get
of the
it.
bracket.
You just get in the car. We got you the rest of the way.
Yeah, and for all my Florida Gator fans, there's probably not a whole lot watching or listening, but for those that are from my neck of the woods of Lakeland, I know a lot of you guys are Gator fans, and if you listen to some first couple episodes of this podcast, I X them out. I didn't even have them coming out of regionals, and
Look at me
completely
now.
just trashed my own team. But they have shocked me. That game against Clemson, game 3 of that Super Regional, is by far one of the best college baseball games I think I've ever witnessed.
That was wild.
I never thought that Florida would have the pitching, but they've proven me wrong, and I hope they continue to do that. I think Texas A&M is a very big test to start the College World Series, just as I think Florida State has a big test as Tennessee right out of the gate. I think Tennessee's probably the hottest team coming into the College World Series, so I think it's maybe one of the better College World Series that we've seen in
Loaded.
recent years. I mean, loaded with talent,
Absolutely loaded.
loaded with good teams, good players. So we'll see. I mean, we have all the way until June 22nd will be the first game of the actual best of 3 national championship. So I don't know. I mean, Andy, I know who you like. I know you like Florida State. I know I like Florida. I'm gonna just try to ride that. Maybe I should just keep bad mouthing them. You think if I keep bad mouthing them, they keep proving me wrong?
My word.
Brian, do you have a hot take, or do you have a team that you're looking at in particular, or what y'all's thoughts on
I
the World Series?
honestly, I think Florida State gets it done.
Oh, wow.
For the first time?
Okay.
For the first time
First
do.
ever.
time ever.
I
We're
do.
gonna do it for Mike Martin, baby.
If y'all haven't seen that interview with Link Jarrett in the last day or two, you need to go watch it. Dude is
Yeah.
locked in, ready to go.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should be a good one. Like I said, though, it's a big test to see against Tennessee. I mean, they're sitting on a 55-12 record. One of the things that makes me nervous about Florida State, as far as like if they do make it to the national championship and say Florida makes it there as well, Florida State has beaten the brakes off of Florida all year in the regular season. And so I would hate for history to keep repeating itself, but what a time it would be to see Florida turn the page on that. I thought last year with Florida making it all the way against LSU, that LSU team was loaded with Paul Skeens and those guys, and to see Florida make it that far, and then to see how crazy of a best of 3 World Series that was with such high scoring games. This is obviously a completely different Florida team. Florida State just seems like they're just all around a good team. They have everything going for them. But for those of you listening and or watching, let us know who you got. Drop a comment. Let us know who you're going for, who you'll be watching, who you'll be rooting for. I know we have a lot of Florida State fans listening and watching, being that we're only 30, 45 minutes from the campus in our hometown here in South Georgia. So I think Florida State probably has as good a shot as anybody. So we're all. Are you in agreement, Andy and Brian, that ACC kind of upsets the SEC and gets it done this year?
I kind of think it goes down this year.
Mm.
Think so.
Think
I mean, they're both. I mean, obviously, there's 4 and 4. I mean, it's the super regionals. The regionals were loaded with ACC and SEC teams, and they've proven to be the last one standing. What's crazy about it is when you look at those at who's out there, you can make a case for any of them. Like it's going to be an absolute war for the next couple of
yeah.
weeks.
So here's a crazy stat for you guys. Out of the last 6 seasons that they had, they didn't have a season in 2020 because of COVID. Out of the last 6 seasons, 5 of those seasons have finished with an SEC national champion. The only one that wasn't national champion was Oregon State. So SEC has ran the baseball scene for quite a while. The last time Florida won was in 2017. But I don't. I think that's it. That's the only previous champion that's in this bracket of 8 this year. In those recent 7-ish years, Virginia's there. Is Virginia in this year? Right, they're in, aren't they? Yeah, they're
Yeah,
in. They
yeah.
won. Yeah, they won back in 2015. So
They played North
yeah, who
Carolina
knows?
first.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But so again, I want to just thank everybody for listening, for watching. Share this. You can catch us on YouTube. You can catch us on Spotify. And drop a comment, like, subscribe, share this. We're also on TikTok as well, posting some little shorts and reels of this podcast. And so we'll keep you guys updated if the ice situation continues to improve or continues to go down, whatever it is. Let us know how your ice situation is at your local towns and your local restaurants, and we'll keep you updated as much as we can. Our own golf games, we'll be playing a golf again next week, so we'll let you know how that goes. Andy, thank you for the heaters, man. That was good. You got me fired up, got me going, and we
Pineapple
look
pizza,
forward to hearing
baby.
from.
Put the pineapple on the pizza. Do it.
No, don't.
Do it. Do it.
But that was good. And next episode we'll have Brian and Bothered. He'll come back with another one, so he'll get us amped up again and sharing some controversy that he's
It's
been
going to be a
battling.
good one.
It's I think if I know the one he's talking about, it's going to be a really, really good one. And in the next episode that we'll touch on, we'll recap the U.S. Open, because next time you see us, the U.S. Open will be over, so we'll get to celebrate whoever the winner is, and we'll be well into the College World Series, so we'll update you on that as well. Again, Andy, Brian, I enjoyed it, my friends. Thank you guys so much, and we will catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.